Have you ever witnessed the devastating effects of poor leadership? Maybe you've seen a business crumble under a corrupt CEO or a community suffer under an unethical politician. Today, we're diving into a story that vividly illustrates the consequences of wicked leadership. We'll explore the tragic tale of Abimelech, Gideon's nephew, and learn crucial lessons about the importance of godly leadership. Our key message today is this: the absence of good spiritual leadership can lead to chaos and destruction, while corrupt leadership brings devastation to God's people. As we open Judges 8:29, we find ourselves at the end of Gideon's life. Gideon, who trusted God and saw him do great things, dies at a good old age. But unlike Moses, who raised up Joshua to lead after him, Gideon leaves no clear successor. This leadership vacuum sets the stage for tragedy that unfolds. Judges 8:33 and 34 tells us, no sooner had Gideon died than the Israelites again prostituted themselves to the Baals. They set up Baal Berith as their god and did not remember the Lord their God, who had rescued them from the hands of their enemies on every side. This rapid spiritual decline among God's people opens the door for bad leadership. Enter Abimelech, Gideon's son by a concubine. Abimelech's name means "my father is king." And that's ironic given Gideon's refusal to be the king. Abimelech, however, has no such hesitation. He connives his way into leadership, employing tactics that should raise red flags for any community. First, Abimelech appeals to tribal loyalty, saying to his mother's clan, "Ask all the citizens of Shechem, which is the better for you, to have 70 of Jerubbaal's sons rule over you, or just one man? Remember, I am your flesh and blood." Judges 9:2. This appeal to nepotism over merit is our first warning sign. Next, Abimelech uses ill-gotten gains to hire reckless scoundrels. Judges 9:4. When a leader surrounds himself with unethical people, it's clear and a clear indication of corrupt intentions. The horrifying climax of Abimelech's rise to power comes in Judges 9:5, which says, he went to his father's home in Ophrah and on the stone murdered his 70 brothers, the sons of Jerubbaal. This shocking act of violence cements Abimelech's character as a ruthless, power-hungry tyrant. This story takes an interesting turn with Jotham's parable in Judges 9:7 through 15. This allegorical tale of trees seeking a king serves as a powerful critique of both Abimelech's leadership and the people's foolishness in accepting him. The productive trees, olive, fig, and vine, refuse kingship, while the unproductive and potentially harmful thorn bush accepts. It reminds us that often those most hungry for power are the least qualified to have it. Abimelech's reign is marked by violence, betrayal, and eventually God's judgment. God stirred up animosity between Abimelech and the citizens of Shechem, Judges 9:23, leading to a series of conflicts which ultimately result in Abimelech's downfall. The irony of Abimelech's death is striking. The man who brutally killed his brothers on a single stone meets his end when a woman drops a millstone on his head, Judges 9:53. Even in death, his pride is evident as he asks his armor bearer to kill him so people can't say he was killed by a woman. This tragic story teaches us several crucial lessons. One, the extreme importance of godly leadership. When good spiritual leaders are absent, people quickly fall into idolatry and sin. Two, the dangers of ambition without character. Abimelech's desire for power, unchecked by moral principles, led to devastating consequences. Three, the folly of choosing leaders based on charisma or self-interest rather than character and godliness. 4, the certainty of divine justice. Though Abimelech seemed to prosper for a time, God ultimately brought judgment on him and those who supported him. So what does Abimelech's story mean for us today? How can we apply these truths to our lives? Be discerning about the leaders you choose and follow. Look for character, not just charisma or promises of personal gain. If you're in a leadership position, remember that your character matters more than your achievements. Seek to lead with integrity, always pointing people to God rather than to yourself. And be wary of those who seek power at any cost. True godly leaders serve, they don't dominate. Trust in God's ultimate justice. Even when the wicked leaders seem to prosper, remember that God is not mocked. He will bring all things to account in His time. And remember, the leadership vacuum left by Gideon led to Abimelech's disastrous reign. Let's commit to raising and supporting godly leaders so that instead of chaos and destruction, we will see communities thriving under wise, God-honoring leadership.